sorry about that, folks. My battery died on my other account. Just died, so I have to plug it back in and be here. But like I said, Ryback, Jericho got a good match out of Ryback back in, it was a good match that showed off Ryback's power against Jericho's speed, and Ryback won with a clean roll up, and the story on that was he used his power to kind of get the pinfall. Then after that, we went into the World Heavyweight Title match, which was with Ziggler and Del Rio, and obviously the crowd was definitely behind Ziggler. Good matchup, really good. Had some good spots there. You had Ziggler hit like an X Factor face plant from the top rope on Del Rio. Really good back and forth match. Unfortunately, WWE decided to screw it up by having AJ Lee come out, as she's done in the past, and basically cost Ziggler the match. What happened, basically, Ziggler's trying to tell her, go, I got this, I'm fine, go. And basically, what happens towards the end of the match is Del Rio takes off his knee pad, exposes the knee brace under it, and just as he's about to hit Ziggler with it, and Ziggler's about to move out of the way, AJ hits Del Rio with her belt and causes the disqualification. And you can even hear JBL, and I don't know if this was just being what he was told or just him shooting, he was pissed. He didn't like the fact that she did that. So, yeah, they basically screwed that up, but in a sense it does continue the Dolph Del Rio feud, as well as it starts planting the seeds for Ziggler and Big E, because basically, as much as people don't like it, they're starting to do with Ziggler and AJ the same thing they did with AJ Punk, AJ Daniel, and AJ Cena and AJ Kane. They're doing the same thing all over again. So I know people hate to see that happen, but guess what? If you're going to move her on to Big E or somebody else, what? You got no choice. But yeah, it was a decent match until that screwy ending. And then we had the WWE Championship match. I thought that was, for Mark Henry and John Cena, a lot of people thought it was going to be a train wreck. It really wasn't a train wreck. It was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty decent. I mean, sure, there was some botches here, like when John tried to reverse, I think, World's Strongest Slam or something like that into a DDT or whatever it was. So, but it was a good match. It basically kind of like, you didn't know what was going to happen. And, John getting caught from, John attempting to splash off the top onto Mark, only for Mark to catch him and hit the World's Strongest Slam. That made you think, okay, they're going to give it to him. Didn't happen. John did hit the attitude adjustment, didn't get the pin. You thought, okay, it's over. Didn't happen. Tried the STFU, Mark up to the ropes, and it got towards the end of the match when Mark just gets this look in his eyes like, done. It's like, this is it. No more getting, basically gets this look like, when he looked, that if you're a fan and you see Mark Henry having this look, you're thinking, okay, they're going to give him the belt. Well, basically, he picks John up for the World's Strongest Slam, but John reverses it into an STF. And then, just as Mark's about to reach for the ropes again, John's able to drag him back a little bit into the middle and finally lock it in again for the third time. And as the old saying goes, third time's the charm. And John Cena ends up making Mark Henry tap out. But, again, even though people were expecting a train wreck, got to give it to both Mark and John. They put on a pretty good match in front of a very hostile Philadelphia crowd. So, and then we get to the Money in the Bank All-Star match for the WWE Championship contract. And RVD, as expected, got a huge ovation, probably the biggest of the night. Probably tied up there with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, both getting similar ovations. Sheamus practically practically got booed out of the building almost. Randy got a mixed reaction. So like I said, Christian, he got a fair reaction, not much of a reaction, but a fair reaction. And there was no seventh participant announced, so they just left it at 6. And for the 6, pretty good. I have to give it to them. RVD definitely showed that he can not only jump around, do the high spots, but he's strong. I mean, practically, I think it was Daniel Bryan picks up Daniel Bryan like this, and then drops him on the ladder. So, and then hits Rolling Thunder. He does hit a 5-star off the top of a ladder onto Christian. So definitely he got the opportunity to show a lot of his spots during the match. Really, really great. Everybody got the shots in, got the opportunities to have some high spots. Sheamus was set. We thought Sheamus was going to set up for a 3rd year in a row of sending someone through basically high crossing somebody into through a ladder. That didn't happen, but that didn't happen. Instead, Sheamus is the one that got knocked into the ladder by Daniel Bryan, who was holding the ladder and hitting Sheamus with it. So it was really good, really back and forth match, really good main event. And yes, it was the main event. And this is, I think, something they did last year, and they should keep doing it. Show that the importance of that WWE Championship is that important. And if I'm WWE, I take it up a notch next year by putting the World Title Championship Money in the Bank and the WWE Title Championship Money in the Bank back to back. Make them the 2 double main events. But anyway, really decent, really great way to close out the show. What happened towards the end was it looked like Daniel Bryan was going to win. Axel comes in, basically hits him with a chair, costing the match, hits the axe cutter, I guess you could say, on the floor on Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan looked like he was going to win. So basically WWE said, okay, screw you, that's what you thought, you're not getting it. And then CM Punk sees this, he hits the GTS on Axel. You have Heyman coming down, scolding an unconscious Axel for what he did. So Punk gets into the ring, sees an opportunity. You see Heyman cheering Punk on. And as soon as Punk is almost like up to the very top of the ladder, getting ready to reach that briefcase, Heyman does this. He takes another ladder that's behind Punk and tosses it right into Punk's leg. And then tosses it again at Punk, and again at Punk, and I think like the 3rd time, he busts Punk open right in the head. And we think, okay, and it looks like it leaves the opening for RVD. RVD's going up, getting ready to climb the ladder, grab the briefcase. Instead, Randy comes in from behind, just does this, he just pulls Rob down like this, hits him with catches him in an RKO. And then Randy goes up and grabs the briefcase and wins. So yeah, Randy Orton becomes Mr. Money in the Bank 2003 for the WWE Championship contract. So Sandow and Orton both have contracts. And what does this mean? Well, it obviously means, like I said at the end in my live reaction video, it looks like we got Orton-Cena rivalry renewed. I know people don't want to hear that, but it seems that's the direction it may be going. But overall, I thought Money in the Bank was pretty good. And yes, it was recordable. I just don't know what the problem is with Raw on USA. So I don't know. But anyway, it was recordable. It was good. And I'm glad I have it now. So that's all I'm going to say. Decent show. I highly recommend you guys watching it. If you can afford to get the replay or download the torrent, if you can find one, do so. It's worth watching. It was it was really good. And decent showing by WWE. Decent, if not, beyond the expectations by WWE. Let's just hope they can build the momentum and know there was nothing by the Wyatt family. We thought there would be. There wasn't. I think they're saving that for tomorrow night. So that's all I'm going to say. Let me know what you guys think. Oh yeah, they did have, one other thing, they did have Brad Maddox come out kind of, I guess, kill some time and pay tribute to Vicky for her time as the managing supervisor of being in power and all that in the WWE, because Vicky was, I guess, out of the goodness of Brad's heart, was put on the pre-show panel, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, they basically used filler time to do a tribute, have Maddox do a tribute video to Vicky. Kind of still saying that there's something going on, that storyline's still going on. But overall, I think the pay-per-view met a lot of people's expectations. I know I might get different opinion on that, but in my opinion it did. And we'll just see what happens tomorrow night on Raw. And that's all I'm going to say. So comment below, tell me what you guys think. Sorry this was in 2 parts, but I'm not going to go back and redo it. But let me know what you guys think about it. Comment below, and I'll talk to you all later.